Before we begin, I need to make this clear. I do not believe any of the characterization we have received is a lie. What is the Mantle game? Yes, it's weird root hints and foreshadowing, but what is it diegetically? Ram tells us it's the original game, but nothing is said about its original source. This has led most to assume it's some Dark World corruption of Dragon Blazers with the parallels to Noel's blog posts. But that means it's not the original game. And more importantly, it doesn't explain the Toriel variable. Ram could be assuming his limited information is correct, as is a trend for Darkners, but the Toriel variable is strange. The Toriel variable is always active while we play, and all it does is cover two sprites. When inactive, the original sprite for the white cloak is a brown deer, and the dark monster that mimics you is a black deer. Why? I see two possibilities. Either the Dark World is trying to tell us something about Toriel through the code, but I don't feel we have enough info to decipher exactly what at this time. Or, Toriel altered the game we're playing to hide the deer sprites, which implies this is actually the original game, and that Chris played it as a child. Setting the how and many valid why aside for a minute and a half, what do we see during actual gameplay which could foreshadow this? The many Toriel parental locks are clear signs that she would deny her children access to objectionable content. We find the codes to unlock these in a variant of the Mantle game. Once past the locks, we find ourselves in the fields of snow and a Christmas tree. We play Mantle, connected to Toriel locks, blocking our access to holiday-themed imagery. Now, if I had a nickel, this implies that Toriel knew about the content of Mantle and did not find it objectionable, apart from the explicit links to the holidays. Why would she be okay with it? Presumably for the same reason she's okay with the inverted Deltarune on the entrance to her house, the same symbol as the headband door. Hey, editing code here, this part is just blatantly wrong. I remembered the Mantle doors were kinda weird, but clearly I forgot the specifics and must have mixed it with the inverted rune. I only realized I was wrong when watching someone else play and saw their sword root footage and actually saw the doors. However, Deltarune's tomorrow, and I don't have time to rewrite this part, but I'm not scrapping this video. Fortunately, the overall video still works, and this section still kinda works if you subscribe to the idea of hometown and its religion feeling a bit cultish. But the stuff about Toriel's motive here is mostly speculation. The character analysis later about if she's capable still holds up, though, so stick around for that. For now, I'll just put this here, and alright, let's continue. Differing symbols typically imply a differing ideology. Oh, as for what the inverse rune actually means, it always appears above head height, so maybe it represents the prophecy from a higher perspective? Two Lighteners and a player? Anyway, so at least one dreamer believes in a different, but compatible, sect of the hometown religion. One that sees the sword path in the Mantle game as acceptable. Other differences could be the existence of sin and absolution, though there's less evidence for that. Let's examine the candidates. One reading is that Asgore is the sword believer and Toriel was unaware of the specifics of this sect, and didn't make the connection between the game and hometown at first. She just didn't like the idea of Chris playing something where they kill the same type of creatures the family is friends with. Maybe learning the truth even triggered the divorce. But would Asgore do this? Characterization in Deltarune leans no, but the story is incomplete. But so far, no Deltarune character with an Undertale counterpart has been characterized differently in each work. In Undertale, he's reluctant to cause harm to humans, but is unable to tell his people he won't do it, so his plan is indirect, and delays for generations of monsters instead of just going out there and making it happen. Adopting a child for the purpose of raising it to be the cage is far too direct and efficient of an approach for Mr. If I keep sending her flowers, maybe she'll love me again. Toriel is the one who spells all this out for us, even coming up with a more direct plan to show Asgore his lack of commitment. Toriel never intended this plan to be used as it doesn't fit her goals, but she was able to think of it. Her actual goal is to keep Asgore from killing kids, but like in Deltarune, she prefers avoiding doing things she dislike to solve her problems, preferring methods she'd do regardless, such as creating an environment where children with nowhere else to go can experience love and normalcy, maintaining puzzles, and even guiding her children through obstacles she doesn't feel they're ready for yet. When she does decide to solve the problem of people being sacrificed to escape in the pacifist route, it's in the most direct way possible, taking Asgore out of the fight before he can harm her child. Now, I had gone into writing this with only the above as proof that Toriel was someone who would give her child the sword route game if she felt it was for their benefit, and I do feel that's sufficient. Yet, while confirming I wasn't misrepresenting Undertale Toriel, I have come to a conclusion. Compare her expressions when mortally wounded on neutral versus genocide. She is not shocked that you've killed her on neutral. Compare her sudden increase in damage taken to Asgore's gradual increase. He's slowly losing the will to fight. She just gives up without backing down. She will lay down her life to prepare her child for what she believes they will encounter beyond the ruins. Put differently, she was willing to make her child a killer because she felt it was necessary. Sure, she's against anyone being sacrificed to escape on pacifist, but the lack of that on neutral implies she only reached that conclusion with external help. This ties into the headband as well. I saw a great video last week about how the headband represents Chris's ideas of normalcy. Putting a link to that video in the description. This would make the headband door in the Mantle game symbolic of Chris taking the path they believed they were expected to. Of course, we know Toriel's love for her children is unconditional. Does Chris know that? Once again, I do not believe any of the characterization we have received is a lie. Toriel is clearly genuine and unconditional in her love for her children. She's just a lot more hardcore about this than most are willing to acknowledge. We've established Toriel would go as far as to adopt a human child and give a child the Mantle game if she felt it was necessary. Unfortunately, speculation on why she would feel it's necessary gets into speculation on the end result of the prophecy and potential variations on the ending of the game. It could be anything. Maybe she got a shadow crystal and wanted to arm her children with the knowledge they'd need to strike at the demiurge. Maybe the Sword Sect believes sinners aren't guaranteed to survive the roaring and the prophecy is about ending it, not stopping it. Maybe Toriel and Asgore have some royal blood, Asriel was born during a power outage, and the final prophecy implies the destruction of the Prince of the Dark, and Toriel is taking absolutely no chances. Trying to predict the ending is a fool's errand, and out of scope for this analysis. Alright, theory's done. Thank you for watching. We're off script now. This was rushed out. There were things that I would have liked to have done in regards to further editing for this that I just flat out did not have time to. Obviously, there was also the rewrite of the entire, I guess it's the prophecy section now, that probably should have been done, but again, Deltarune tomorrow. Sorry if I laid it on a bit thick regarding Toriel's personality or nature. I just don't see it questioned very often these days, so I didn't want to risk stepping on some toes, and looking back, I might have overcorrected a little bit. I don't know. Whatever, you'll all tell me in the comments. In regards to future theories, I might make something about, like, I've had an idea for something about the, an analysis of how choice is represented in Undertale through the existence of its trinity and how people tend to interact with that. I don't know, I've been interested in that for a while. We'll see if I can coalesce that into a script, but given I started this video last week, and it came out, reasonable, I think I could probably, find some time to do that, so, yeah. Thank you so much for watching my video. Bye! Oh, wait, right, I also stream indie stuff on Twitch. Some games you've heard of, many you probably haven't. Check that out.